Hey y'all, I'm Allie. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. In the year 2025, we are going to be doing a series that at first I thought I'm going to make this a cute little series in January, like a kind of like how to be self-sustainable and how to make your own foods from scratch. But I decided when I started breaking it down that there are a lot of things that you can make yourself, that you don't need to depend on boxes, containers, cans, things in the middle aisles of the grocery store that you, using whole clean ingredients, can make yourself. So why give them your money? Keep your money in your pocket and make these things from scratch yourself. So my goal in 2025 is, and this is why I'm like, it's not gonna be just a January thing, it's probably gonna be a whole year thing, is to figure out dupes as best I can for all commercial products that you guys maybe use in your house and don't want to keep giving it to the man. You don't want to give them your money anymore. You want to use it at home and you want to make it yourself. So today, and I don't even have a box of this because we don't buy it. I'm trying to like show you the products that I'm making, but today we are making RICE-A-RONI. This is like a little box if you're in another country. It's a little tiny box that's basically a pre-seasoned rice mix that goes great as a quick side for your family. So, you guys, this stuff is loaded with sodium. It had all kinds of funky ingredients that you don't need to make a good product. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own. This is going to be a shelf stable. I'm going to do them in mason jars so that when you guys want to make them, all you got to do is grab a mason jar and make it just like you would the box. So I'm trying to make them as convenient as possible. So I have pint mason jars. I find these are great. They fit easily in my pantry. I usually will make like 6 of them at a time and then line them up in my pantry. I've done a tour for you guys before. That was a mouthful. So let's get started. So first thing you need, I'm using my canning, a wide mouth canning thing. I got it at Walmart a billion years ago. It's just the easiest way for me to go down the line really quickly to show you how to make this. This is going to be a chicken bouillon based version. You can use beef bouillon, you can use veggie bouillon if you have a powdered one, which I do. I should have done that. Either way, this is our homemade chicken. What is in here is not what the label says. This is our homemade. We have a version of that on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. I'll try to remember to tag it below. I'm terrible at tagging stuff. So 1 cup of rice. We're gonna do 1 cup of rice into each jar. I'm hoping this fits in these jars. It should. I'm doing 3 because we used to do this a lot more when our kids all lived at home, but since 2 of our kids moved out, we only have 1 left at home, and we just don't grab it as often as we used to. He prefers buttered egg noodles, and so we do that a lot more. All good. The next thing you need is broken up little pieces of pasta. We do a lot of recipes where you don't use the whole box of pasta, so I keep extra. This is angel hair or thin spaghetti. That's basically the only one we still use in our house. I just keep it in this jar. Now to break it up, boop, I have this little bowl. To break it up, I just grab a small handful of it, and this goes pretty quickly. You can buy pre-broken. I don't see a point. I already have this. So all that I do is kind of put my fingers at one end and kind of guesstimate about where I want it, and it literally just snaps like that. Move down, snap it. And like I said, this took me like 2 minutes to do this full bowl. You don't want these too small because they're gonna break down, but you don't want them too big. So I'll hold them up at the end and kind of show you about the size I'm doing. They're maybe like 1/2 inch to 1 inch, about 3/4 of an inch. They're not consistent because I'm human. So that is how I broke them up. So I have a whole bowl of those ready to go. Into each jar, we're gonna be putting 1/2 of a cup, so 1/2 a cup of our pasta. It doesn't travel well. It kind of falls all over the place, but it's okay. Now, as I'm doing this, I would tell you, you can add things to these to doctor it up a little bit if you want to grill onions in the butter when you do the browning of the rice at the beginning. If you want to add, canned mushrooms or anything like that, you totally can. So 1/2 a cup of that going to each one. I'll make some more after this, but this just seemed like a good amount to show. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I had to run and take care of something in the laundry room really quick. We're dog sitting. Let me just say that. So the next thing we need in each one of these is dried parsley. We grow parsley in the summer. We dehydrate it, and then I just whip it through my food processor really quick, or blender, to break it down. Into each one, we've got 2 tablespoons. If you want to do a little less, you totally can. I think it mostly just makes it pretty. But to me, I really enjoy the extra oomph it gives. Like I said, not a lot of flavor from it. After that, we're gonna go down the line. Oop, we need bouillon powder into each one, my bad. This is our homemade chicken bouillon powder. It's actually on the channel already. I like it because it's not this, it does not have chicken fat in it, which is what the basis of this is. So it's a little bit different, but it's pretty dang close, and you know what's in it. So 2 tablespoons of that going into each one. I'm gonna have to make another batch soon. I don't make this full container of it when I make it. I make smaller batches. All right. There's all our chicken bouillon. It's actually vegan, I believe, if I remember correctly. We used different stuff to make it, so. Next, we've got onion powder. If you guys haven't seen our video, we make our own spices. And so I buy whole onions, peel and all. I dehydrate them and grind them up. So that's what this is. It's slightly more clumpy when you go to use it. Like, it sticks to itself. But when you break it down, it's delicious. So you need a teaspoon of that into each one. I'm going to give these a shake, and it'll knock the powder down into there so that it's better, easier to seal up and stuff. Next, we need garlic powder. I'm doing 1/4 of a teaspoon into each one. If you want more garlicky flavor, by all means, you can add it up to, I wouldn't do more than like 1/2 a teaspoon, or it'll be a little overwhelmingly garlic. I would grill some fresh garlic in at the beginning when you do that part to get a little more garlicky flavor. We've got ground thyme. I would say about 1/8 of a teaspoon. I kind of just give it a good shake. Again, if there's any of these flavors you don't really love, just take them out. Now, when you make rice-a-roni, it always has this like orangey color to it. So this is an optional ingredient. I do it because it gets close to the original. Sometimes when I make it, I leave it out. This is ground turmeric. Ground turmeric is gonna give it that yellowy color that you get when you make it. You just need 1/4 a teaspoon into each one. I use the same teaspoon, and I just more eyeball it than anything, so we're close enough. And like I said, that just keeps it, ooh, my lid cracked. That just keeps it that orangey yellow color that you're more used to when you have traditional rice-a-roni. Y'all, that's it. How easy was that? I put a lid on these, and then to make them, it's the middle of the morning, so I'm not gonna make these for you, but to make them, you take 2 tablespoons of butter or oil, I prefer butter, and you put it in a pan. You're gonna take the contents of this and dump it into the butter. You're gonna brown your rice and your spaghetti just slightly until it starts to get white or a little tiny toast to it. Then you are going to add 2 1/4 cups of water into your container, put a lid on it, turn it to like medium, low, and then you're gonna cook it for 15 minutes. When you take the lid off, you will have homemade rice-a-roni. What I love about it, you know every single thing that went into this. How awesome is that? So if you want to use organic or whole wheat pasta, if you want to use brown rice, if you use brown rice, I would up the cooking time like 10 minutes. So I would do it 25 minutes to make sure your brown rice is cooked through. But y'all, how easy is that? What I was saying too, at the beginning, when you cook the butter, if you want to grill up a little onion, if you want to throw some sliced mushrooms in there, a little bit of garlic, you can make this much more gourmet than just, here's your rice-a-roni. You could throw other things in with it, and then at the end, when you take the lid off after it's fully cooked, if you want to add a can of tuna or a can of chicken or some diced whatever, or you can make it more like a meal versus a side. Anyways, you guys, that is our recipe for the day. Oh, by the way, what I do, let me show you. I have another jar for something else we're gonna be making over here. I haven't done it with these because these are new jars. But what I do is I get a label machine. You can write it on a piece of paper as well and stick it on there with a piece of shipping tape. But I write on there exactly the directions that you'll need to make this, so you don't have to resort and go find the recipe, look me back up on YouTube or whatever. So I would on the top of here put 2 tablespoons butter, toast slightly, cook with a lid on it with this much water for, I put it on there. You could put it on the side as well. And then I reuse these jars over and over. So what I do, this is what I do with these ones, is I have a spot in my pantry and I rotate them to the back. When I get to the last one to pull to have ingredients, I know that I have my jars ready to go and I go make another batch of it. There you guys go. This, by the way, will last. Usually do enough, I do for 6 months just because that's what's fit best in my pantry. These will hold for a year in your pantry. Awesome, right? Anyways, I hope you liked our back to the basics RICE-A-RONI. We're gonna be having, I don't even know, you guys, what's coming up next, but we've got all kinds of stuff up our sleeve. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe because we're gonna be doing a full year. And the best part, if you have requests, there are certain things that are gonna be harder for me, like Kinder seasonings, because I don't have the actual product to start with available to me without spending a bunch of money. But if it's an easy for me to get product or one that I'm super familiar with, then I can totally make a dupe for you. So hit me up below if you have something that you're thinking. But other than that, we're gonna do pantry staples too. So be on the lookout. Thanks for watching, guys.